Progtime, the Layered Reality YouTube show.
Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Progtime right here on the Layered Reality YouTube channel. We got a lot of great content for you. We have a segment from Lauren who's diving into another prog metal classic album for all of you. Dennis has some really neat stuff. And of course from Japan, James is bringing you another crazy band that you should really check out. Next to that, it's been a bit of a slow news month. However, most of you guys have already seen that we have done a bit of a change up. We have a new logo right there. There you go. And we have the new website freshened up. We have all these new things that we've been working on. We're slowly rolling them out. We're actually going to expand on that a bit more in the coming weeks and in the coming months. So, you know, we're working on a lot of cool stuff. And as you might have seen, we have done the Layers interview show for a while. We've been working on that. We did 3 interviews so far, one with Ramage Inc., one with Elo, and one with Keor. We're working on figuring out new guests for new episodes, so there will be more episodes coming up. Originally we had this 2-week schedule, but obviously with certain bands it was a bit harder to plan. However, it's not dead. There will be new episodes of Layers coming up. Next to that, I just want to do a few quick shout outs at the end of this segment. The first one going to a Payron bound. Andrew is, as always, working his ass off with his band, working on really cool new stuff, and I had the pleasure to listen to some of the demos, and it's gonna be really killer. And next to that, the guys in 7 Station are working really hard on their new EP release, which is coming through Layered Reality Productions, and it's gonna be really fucking awesome as well. Stay tuned on the 7 Station pages. That was all for the news segment this time. I know, incredibly short, but yeah, you know, sometimes you just want to keep it short and sweet. Besides, the others have a lot of really cool content for all of y'all. So, without further ado, I'm gonna give the mic to the next person. Here we go. I think it's Lauren, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Lauren, take it away.
It's supposed to sound like that? Oh, okay. Hey everybody, it's Lauren Holly from Layered Reality Productions, and it's now again time for Progtime. And this week I decided to chuck all of you into the deep end, and I've chosen Pain of Salvation's Remedy Lane. Now, Pain of Salvation are from Sweden. This is their 4th album, coming out in 2002. This album is a concept album. Now, when I initially listened to this album, I thought, okay, it's gonna go down the Queensryche Sabotage concept album. Was I wrong? I was so wrong. And you know what? I have to admit, the first time I listened to this album, I didn't really think much of it. It is difficult in portions because, again, this is prog. Time changes, key changes, vocal changes, instrumental, the whole lot. But where I actually got through it the first time, I decided that I was going to delve a little bit deeper into this album, and I went onto Google and I took a look at the lyrics. And holy the lyrics change everything. This is a dark album lyrically. Very dark, very painful. Once I actually delved into the lyrics, that reduced me into a weeping nightmare in my bedroom. Starting off the album, we have the first track, which is Of Two Beginnings, setting up the story: young boy, young girl, young kids, young bodies, young minds, young souls, everything starting, changing, developing, etc. Then we head into the second track, which is one of my favorite tracks on the album, Ending Theme. I have to say again, reading the lyrics in combination of listening to this album, it looks like he is someone involved in the music scene. And he's not really sure what he's doing, where he's going, who he's with, what he wants. It is a great song. Fantastic song. But you can tell that the doubt is starting to come in. Now, the 2 tracks on this album that really got me are a little bit further into the album. The song that I'm going to tell you about next is a big trigger warning. Now, if this has ever happened to you, it is going to do exactly what it did to me and reduce you to a pile of emotional rubble. And that's the song A Trace of Blood. I don't want to go into the actual lyrics of this album. I have to say that if at any point this is actually semi-autobiographical, that my heart absolutely weeps for Daniel. But the subject matter is awful, actually. But the song in itself is absolutely beautiful. And you can feel the pain, you can feel the rawness. He doesn't leave anything back whatsoever. And the combination with the music is, it's gut-wrenching. He doesn't actually hold up from there because he gives you a little bit of a reprieve, and then you get into the next song, which reduced me again to a hollow inside, which is rope ends. Now, I am definitely not going to go into what rope ends is about. It is very dark. It is very sad. And the woman in this particular song, if she's real or even if she isn't real, you're going to wish that she's okay. Let's just put it that way. It is visceral, it is raw, and it is emotional. Now, you do get some mental reprieve on this album because there are a couple of instrumentals that are thrown in there as well. There are moments of happiness in this album as well. If you're lucky enough to get your hands on the Japanese copy of this album, there is a bonus track in there called Thorn Clown, which is our protagonist going back a little bit, wishing that he could be that little kid again, that little boy, you know, not being afraid of the world, not having to deal with everything that happens as an adult, and hoping that he can bring some of that little boy back with him to make him feel whole again. All I want to say about this album is it gets a massive thumbs up from me. 9 out of 10. I would even give it a 10 out of 10. I was never a Pain of Salvation fan before, but I am definitely a Pain of Salvation fan now. And I can tell you, I've never seen this band live. I would like to see this band live. Now, I know my boss, Tom, has probably seen Pain of Salvation more times than he can count on his 10 little fingers. Listen to this album, do yourself a favor, and have the lyrics with you as you listen, so you can understand what is actually happening. Everybody has portions of their life where music, songs connect with them. And I have to say that this album, as painful as it is, we all go through that. We all go through that growth and that hope and that fear and that anxiety and that salvation of being able to come out on the other side. Definitely give it a listen. And I hope I will see you next Progtime, where I will give you another album to listen to that I think non-progressive metal album listeners should listen to. That's it from me. Bye.
This is For Nerdish Steel, a segment of the now legendary Progtime on YouTube. Today we are going to talk about Certified Dangerous, the brand new full-length album from the band Tempashot. It's the most recent album of that band, and it's 9 tracks strong, and it's 47 minutes and 32 seconds long. It's thrash metal, very melodic. It's mixed with rap, very melodic and fast, and they have backing vocals. I have yet to figure out who of the two dudes singing is the main vocalist and who is the dude that just doing the backing vocals, because both have their place in the mix. One of the guys does normal thrash metal vocals, rather harsh, and the other one got a rather thin voice, and he's doing the rap part of the songs, like he's just really talking, and that is quite fast. So that is what is quite unique for me in the approach the band does to metal and thrash metal. So what stands out the most, they managed to do these things in the mix without watering down their head-crushing thrash metal. That they really do, because the most bands that come my way that mix too many influences get lost in the way and water down what they really try to approach. That is rather refreshing for me to encounter a band that does all these things and still is capable of moving me and getting me to sit in front of this camera and sing the praise. Why do I think that prog lovers will like it? The band's approach to a somewhat limited subgenre of thrash metal shows that there's still a lot to say when it comes to thrash metal and heavy metal in general. In 2024, that is quite something to being able to do. So yeah, that is that. So check out Certified Dangerous of Tempashot from London, England, and if you don't like it, I don't give a
Hey guys, it's James from Lycanthro here once again, and welcome back to Tokyo Tunes, the part of Progtime where I talk about the weird, epic, and nerdy as hell bands that come out of the land of the rising sun. I hope you guys enjoyed my previous spotlight on the monolithic Onmyo Za. and I guys hope you experienced shattering ear orgasms like you never have before. Now this month we'll be talking about a metal band that is extremely weird and diverse, yet has some of the most inventive songwriting and some of the most emotional compositions that you will ever hear out of a metal band, period. I'm of course talking about the lunacy that is Gacharic Spin. Gacharic Spin are a hard rock, funk, power, death. Honestly, I don't even know what the these guys are. All I can tell you is that they are one of the most unique metal bands I've ever heard in my entire life, and they've crafted a style that is all their own, which is something that is very hard to do nowadays. And remember last episode when I made that joke about how people complain about nothing's original in music anymore, and then me saying, oh yeah, there is, well, just go listen to what Japan's doing. Well, Gacharic Spin are the perfect band that encapsulates that sentiment. They're at their core a hard rock and heavy metal band, and its members have all stated that that is where their main influences lie. And as I said before, this is the same band that will have death growls, power metal drums, funk bass, flowery J-pop, and yes, prog, all on the same album. And that's why I feel like prog fans will enjoy this band, because they embody the spirit of not restricting yourself musically. And if you're a fan of anything from Dream Theater to Primus, then you will find something to love about Gacharic Spin. And it seems like a lot of people in the West are starting to share these sentiments, as after their amazing 2019 album Gold Dash, they've been slowly garnering a following in the West through reaction videos on YouTube. It's always great watching everyone from seasoned musicians to Joe Blow on YouTube reacting to the absolute technical prowess of Gacharic Spin and having to pick up their collective's jaws right off the floor. In terms of recommendations, I will always tell everyone to check out their 2021 self-titled album. This album perfectly encapsulates on how Gacharic Spin are as a band, with their two lead singles, I Wish I and Mindset, being so drastically different, but somehow still fit and still sound coherent on here. I Wish I is an emotionally charged epic with some really dark and inventive songwriting and, at least if you read the translation, some of the most beautiful lyrics I've ever read in a metal song. Now, Mindset is arguably their most famous song. This song just goes absolutely everywhere and also has one of the most bat music videos I've ever seen. I finally just want to quickly draw special attention to their song Lonely Marked off their most recent album W. This song has one of the most beautiful vocal performances I've ever heard in a metal song ever. And as a vocalist, it completely moves me every time I hear it. Angie is one of the most emotive vocalists I've ever heard in any metal band, or honestly any band for that matter. And you can tell that this particular song came from an extremely personal place. And I'm convinced if you hear this song and feel nothing, then your heart is blacker than Tom's coffee in the morning. Anyway, that wraps it up for me, so once again I want to thank all of you for watching Tokyo Tunes here on Progtime, and as always, give us a subscribe, and stay tuned next month, where I'll have another weird-ass band from the land of Japan. Until then, stay metal, my friends.